Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. In our today's lecture, we will discuss about the suspensions. So, the word suspension, it is new to you. Basically, suspension, it is a type of mixture. And what type of mixture it is? It is a heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture, hetero mean basically we have different, and the genus mean we have type, or we can say that form. It's mean basically suspensions are heterogeneous mixtures of two or more substances. When we dissolve two or more substances, then we just gain a mixture. And a mixture, its type is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous mean it is having different forms. So these are known as suspensions. Let's have an example for this. In the first one, we have a solution. We cannot see any different particles in it. It is a mixture that is having uniform composition. Its composition is uniform throughout. On the other hand, the second one, we can see these particles as the small particles that are in green in color. These are suspended in this liquid. So, when the solid particles are suspended and we can see these particles by naked eye as they are large enough. So that type of mixture we can call that it is a suspension. On the other hand, when these particles started to settle at the bottom of the beaker, this is known as the precipitation, as all the particles settled at the bottom of the beakers. This is known as precipitation. And the daily life example for the suspensions we have, as we use the syrup bottles at home, that is known as suspension, and it is often over there use. Before to use that, you have to shake it. Why it is gonna to be right over there that you have to shake that bottle before the use? Because the solid particles are suspended in it in and they are in the form of precipitation, and to take its a better level, we have to shake it. So this is the simple daily life example of the suspensions. On a whole, we have a lot of examples for this. Properties of the suspensions. Basically, properties of the suspensions. The first one, it is a heterogeneous mixture. It is having different form. Then its particle size is very large, as it can be seen by the naked eye. And we have a lot of examples for the first one. We have, if we have ice in the soda water, so this is a suspension. If we have the chocolate chip cookies, now these cookies have the chocolate chips over there, and it is a mixture and a heterogeneous mixture, so this is a suspension. If we have a sandwich, if we have a toast salad, and if we have the pizza, all these are the examples of the suspensions. Next, we have the Tyndall effect. Now, what does mean by Tyndall effect? Basically, it is known as scattering of light. When we simple pass the light beam from the solutions, we cannot see the path of light. But when the light is going to pass from the collides or from the suspensions, then we can easily see the path of light. So this is known as the Tyndall effect, or it is also known as the scattering of light. So suspensions as well as the collides can scatter the light when the light is going to pass through them. So the path of the light is visible from the colloids as well as the suspensions. When we have a milk and water, basically it is a colloid. And when we dissolve mud and water, this is known as the suspension. A very simple example, if we have the chalk in powder form and we dissolve it in water. We have a water and we added the powdered chalk in it. So this is the very simple example of suspension. So the suspensions can scatter the light and the colloids can also scatter the light. This process is known as Tyndall effect. Next we have the particles separation, that how we can separate the particles in the mixture of the suspensions. So the very simple method that we can use, it is known as the filtration. Filtration is a separation process in which the solute particles can be separated from the solvent by the use of filter paper. If we use a filter paper, this process is known as filtration. As the particle size of the suspension is greater than 10 raised to power 3 nanometer, as particle size is 10 raised to power 3 nanometer greater than. So we can see these particles. These particles are simple, we can say that visible by the naked eye, naked eye. So we can easily separate them by the process of filtration. For the process of filtration, we have to take the funnel, we have to take the filter paper, and we have to take the flask. And simple, we need to pour the suspension. Then the solute particles will be over the filter paper and leaving behind here the solvent. So we can separate out the suspension particles by the process of the filtration. And why we can separate them? Because the particle size is 10 raised to power 3 nanometer, that is large enough, can be seen by naked eye. Next we have a lot of examples of suspension here. If we have the fruit drinks, we can see the particles suspended in the liquids. If we have a coffee creamers, then we have the chocolate drinks, and if we have the soft drinks like is having ice, then all these are known as the suspensions. These are the suspensions. Simple, we have mud in water, we have chalk in water, if we have sand in water or any liquid. All these are the examples of suspensions. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any queries you may ask me about that. And the next topic that we will discuss, it is about the colloids, that is the second class of the mixtures. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.